What's going on? Look at Charlie. She thought that I was talking to her. This feels weird to film over here because this is usually like where I vlog. This isn't usually where I do like sit down videos. So hi, welcome. The reason I'm over here is because all my annotating stuff's over here. And today we're talking about how I annotate my books and like the annotating supplies that I use and everything like that. Great intro, 10 out of 10, love that so much. Okay, so if you guys need some further explanation on what we're doing in today's video, today I'm going to take you guys through how I annotate. So I have 2 books with me. I have A Little Life, which is my most annotated book ever, and I also have this because I annotated this one literally a little bit yesterday. I'm going to show you guys how I annotate, why I do certain annotations, and I'm also going to show you guys the supplies because I do get questions on like what stuff that I use to annotate. That's what we're going to do today. But first, before we get into any of that, I want to say a quick thank you to today's sponsor for today's video, which is Geology. Okay guys, I'm here to talk to you about today's sponsor, which is Geology. And to answer your question, yes, it is the 16-time award-winning skincare company, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about their co-wash. Now, for some of you who are scratching your head and going, what's co-wash? Co-wash is a special formulated cream cleanser, but for your hair. It's basically to remove all the buildup that products leave in your scalp, because more often than not, you may not know this, but shampoos can absolutely strip your scalp of all of the natural oils that live in it. This can leave you feeling dry. So we use the co-wash to help, you know, lather up that hair, make it feel good, because ultimately co-wash is skincare, but for your scalp, because hair care is also skincare. Their co-wash focuses on nourishing and cleansing your scalp. It puts you in 100% of control of your clean, because you can choose how much you're using it, when you're using it, how long you're using it for. Typical shampoos use harsh chemicals and sulfates, ooh, I know, the S word, sulfates, to try to clean your hair. With Geology's co-wash, they use friction and a scrubbing motion to remove dirt and grime, keeping your scalp healthy and clean. And you guys don't have to worry, Geology does not use any harsh ingredients that you can find in typical hair care products. They always want your hair to slay, okay? You can trust Geology with that. Plus, their products are good for all hair types and they are color safe, which obviously that is something that is important to me. It is also available in 2 different formulas. You can either get the cooling hair co-wash, which has aloe and tea tree oil in it, or the one that I use, which is the smoothing co-wash, because girl, I want my hair to look smooth, okay? I fight with a little bit of frizziness and dryness, and the smoothing one has avocado and coconut in it. It smells amazing. And I know that I told you guys at the beginning of this clip that Geology is in fact a 16-time award-winning skincare company, so you guys are also interested in their skincare. Geology has super simple and effective skincare that is built around a handful of powerful ingredients. These ingredients have been proven and trusted by dermatologists for decades. Geology skincare helps you fight acne, reduce oiliness, prevents wrinkles, combats dark or puffy under eyes, helps you have smoother skin, and targets signs of aging. One of the best parts about Geology is that their packaging is made with 84% less plastic than traditional packaging is, and this is helping them create a smaller carbon footprint. I usually use my co-wash whenever I'm coming off of a week. Like, you guys know, you guys have those weeks with your hair, not like weeks, but like a week where you have just used a lot of dry shampoo. That's me. Roots are growing out. So I've been using a lot of dry shampoo, some different hair oils, some different heat protectants that I just need to get deep in my hair, and I need to feel my hair be clean. You guys know that when you get out of the shower, you can feel when your hair is like clean. And that is exactly how I feel after using the co-wash. And then I leave the shower, my hair feels smooth, it feels clean, and I am ready to tackle yet another week. For a quick rundown of your website, all you guys have to do is click the link that I will have down below. All you have to do is take a 30-second quiz telling them all about your skin and hair, and their team of dermatologists will make a personalized skincare for you that gets delivered straight to your door. How simple is that? And right now, for a limited time, Geology is hooking all of y'all up, okay? You guys can use my code DESTINY70, or you guys can scan the QR code on the screen. I know Geology makes things so simple for you guys, just a simple QR code that you guys can scan, and they will give you guys an exclusive 70% off their award-winning skincare trial set. On top of that, they're also giving you an exclusive offer on their co-wash products whenever you add them to the trial. This is one of the best offers that you guys will get, so you guys better get it before it's gone. Thank you so much again to Geology for sponsoring today's video. I love you guys. And now let's get into my annotating my books. Guys, look at how small the straw is. I feel like a literal child drinking out of it. Okay, so first of all, I am going to take you guys through how I edit, because I feel like that's going to be the shorter part. So basically, I feel like editing is, did I just say I'm going to take you guys through how I edit? Okay, how I annotate. I'm going to take you guys through how I annotate. I Annotate is so personal to me. Ooh, I'm a little nervous. That just like did a lot of shaking, even though it was like barely me. Okay. This video is a little unhinged. I'm feeling a little unhinged today. So if you're getting that vibe through the camera, I'm so sorry. I am mentally unwell. Anyway, like for example, I'm going to tell you guys how I'm annotating right now because I did this video last year, and you guys want to know something? Like I didn't even annotate back then. Like at the beginning of 2022, I was not annotating any books. I used to have the biggest ick for like writing in books. If someone were to look at me and be like, oh yeah, you're gonna write in your books, I'd be like, never a day in my life. But then you wanna know what I do? I have this thing where I get older. If you're somebody that's like, I could never write in my books, that used to be me. Well, I was like, I would never write in my books, but I think it's so aesthetic when other people do. Like I love looking at other people's annotations. I was just like, you know what? It's their book, it's my book. Like if I want to freaking dog ear the pages and just do whatever I want, it's my book because I bought it, so I can do whatever I want. So then yeah, I was like, you know what, no, I'm gonna start annotating. Now I don't annotate and tab every single book. I kind of sit down with a book, but this one was a reread and I literally reread this just to annotate it. I'm sorry, I know I'm ranting right now, but I will get to the point here in a second, I swear. I usually only annotate when it's a book that I'm rereading, or if it's a book that I already know going into it, like I'm going to love, then I annotate it. But this is my most annotated book ever, so I'm going to take you guys through what I started to do with annotation. I did a little reel over on my bookstagram of me doing the first few like pages of this book. Also, I'm going to talk about this book in my January wrap up. We're not here to talk about this book, but wow. So what I have started to do, and I've definitely seen this all over bookstagram, and I've seen other people do this, and I was like, you know what, that is genius, because I used to just like randomly take tabs and just be like, whatever color, and that's fine. Like you don't have to sit here and do what I do, but what I have started to do, if I could find the page, that would be absolutely amazing. So what I started to do was like on the little title page, I put the tab, and then I put like what that tab basically means. So I don't even think that this is focusing right now. So the dark blue means important, the dark gray is a heartbreaking moment, the blue color is sad, the light gray are quotes, the red part is love, or like really, really sweet, genuine things that happen. The dark green is friendship, and then I also added, I think somewhere else, yes, on the page, because I ran out of space right there, but later on in the book is really when most of these tabs start coming through. I have like orange for anger. So when I annotate books, I do basically that, where I call it an annotation guide, where basically if someone were to pick up this book, they would know exactly like what these tabs mean, and it's also just kind of a reminder for like what those tabs mean. So say I'm like, oh, let me find an important part in this book, I can go to any blue one and it's beneficial for the story, the character, or whatever it is. So I've started doing that, and I honestly feel like it helps me a lot, because I felt like for me personally, when I just kind of did the like random color thing with tabs, I would be looking for a quote, but I couldn't quite remember like obviously which color tab it was. Where I did it, I could kind of remember where it was in the book, but I don't remember what color I used, so it's always kind of all over the place. So I feel like with this, since I know like, okay, well obviously it was a sad quote, so I used a blue tab, so let me find the blue tab, and it's going to be in one of the blue tabs. You know, it's just kind of like a centralizing, like my mind is all over the place, as we can tell by this video alone. If this is your first video watching me, I swear my other videos are better than this. I'm just in a moment today. I'm in a moment. But anyway, I can't even remember what I was saying. Oh, I started doing the annotation guide because I just feel like it really, really helps me think when I look at a book, and it's just like a lot more organized for me. Now we're going to talk about my underlining versus highlighting, because it is a very specific thing. For some reason, the two are completely different to me. For example, we have like these pages, and as you can see, so what I do is that I pencil in things. So like I'll underline, and usually here's the thing, sometimes I try to do pen. I literally can't do pen. I do pencil because you can erase it. I do pencil a lot, and when I underline things in pencil, it's just because I want them underlined, or I'm going to have like a central idea that I'm going to write somewhere, and usually in the margin. So basically when I underline in pencil, it's because that part is sticking out to me. It's important for some reason, but it's not as important as a highlight. As you can literally see, you can see pencil underlines and then the actual highlight. So with the pencil underlines, I feel like there's important parts of the conversation that I really want to stick out to myself, or there's important parts in the paragraphs that I want to stick out. But the highlights, whenever I highlight something, this is something where I'm like, no, this is the most important thing on the page, or this is something that I am going to keep on coming back to and coming back to. For example, I have multiple parts of these pages tabbed, but when I go to look for a gray tab, I have this highlighted because I'm like, this is more than likely what you're coming back for. This is the quote, or this is the scene that you're coming back for. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Usually a certain specific scene or specific quote that I will highlight. That way it is sticking out to me because, again, like I said, I pencil a lot. You will flip to any page basically and I penciled a lot in. But when it's highlighted, it's because it's a quote that I want to remember. Like, for example, I have some things underlined here, but the thing that I have highlighted is the quote, "I have become lost to the world in which I otherwise wasted so much time." So like when I go back and it has a little quoted tab, it's highlighted. That's basically what that is. And I will show you guys again with this book. There is this part that's underlined in pencil because that's an important part. But then I highlighted the quote, "She needed us to be nothing without her," because that's something that really stuck out to me and I felt was really important. I will write in the margins of the pages sometimes, and if you guys don't know what that means, it basically is like these right here or off to the side. I will write in the margins or off to the side or like right over here and like draw arrows off the pages to something that I need my full entire thoughts on, because this is annotating that I used to do back in high school, specifically in my AP classes. That's what I used to do. I'm not afraid to write in my books because I also like to go back and read my books and see like what I've written in the margins and if I still feel that same way. I don't know, I feel like it encapsulates a part of your present self forever in this book. And like when I pick this book back up sometime, not anywhere in the near future, I can see what 19-year-old Destiny was thinking whenever she was reading this book, and I find something very sweet and personal about that. Do one of these if I don't feel like I have enough room to write in the margins, or it's a book where I feel like I don't want to write in the margins. I have these little mini post-it notes that I will put and I will write on and just stick it on the page, and usually I will kind of treat it like a tab where I'll put it to the side and it sticks out so I know exactly where those are at, because those are obviously big thoughts that I have about a book. Also guys, before we get into any of the supplies, I did want to tell you guys about how I have been keeping a journal for more specifically whenever I am doing like books that are taking more brain power. I say fantasy because those are really the only books that have taken me a lot more brain power to use recently, but if it's like any literary fiction or anything like that where I'm not grasping the information entirely, I will journal it in here. So basically what I do, this is what I've been doing for fantasy books specifically, but this is a form of annotating for me. You can just get any little journal and do this as well. I do feel a little bit like I'm back in high school, but it's okay. So I will do one page specifically for characters. Specifically in fantasy books, this is something that I find very hard, is that there are like 10,000 characters and you need to know the importance of every single one or else you will be lost, okay? We're gonna be Rick Grimes, you know? Don't act like you know the rules, man. We're lost. Like, that is me with every single fantasy book. That is me. So I do a little thing. So obviously I put it around the main character. So everything's around the main character, and then I put the character a brief of the briefest descriptions of what they are, because that's how my brain can really commute, okay? Nothing very difficult is getting up here. So I do that and then just kind of connect them. So like if one character connects with like 5 other ones, we'll draw the lines there. Like, I very much feel like that one meme when I do this, but like I swear it helps. Does it take a little bit of time, but it's gonna save your brain in the end, okay? And then basically what I do, sometimes I break it down chapter by chapter. Sometimes I just do this where it's just like a cognitive form of thoughts on the page of like what is happening, why this is important, remember this, Destiny, this is something that happens that I feel like is going to be beneficial later in the end. And then whenever I'm confused, guess what I do? I just come back here, go to my notes, and I'm like, okay. Reading is enjoyable, but sometimes, man, you pick up a book and it's hard. I still love it nonetheless. So that's like my full annotating routine. So now we're going to go into all of the supplies that I use for my annotating. I don't know about you guys, but I was that girl in school, specifically also in elementary school, where I would always be like, I want the neon Sharpies, I want all of the stationery. Oh, I've always been a huge stationery girly. I wanted the cutest journals, I wanted the cutest highlighters, I wanted the cutest pencils, pens. I've always been that type that just like needs it. Anyway, so I have these 2 drawers that I have organized into different little organizers. There's just a bunch of different things that I use for annotating. So let's talk about it. In the first drawer, I'm gonna move you guys over here where we're actually at the drawer. First of all, I keep everything in little acrylic organizers. We have all of my pencils. These are sketching pencils. I did used to be really big into drawing. I no longer have time to draw. I wasn't terrible at it, but these are my sketching pencils. But I also just have these mechanical pencils. They are the Papermate Sharpwriter, and I've just always loved these. I feel like they're so simple, easy, and I really like them because they're also super affordable. And then I have 2 different trays of pens. I use black pens every single day for like my planners and notes and stuff like that. My favorite pen ever, and all of these are that brand because that is my literal go-to. When I find something that I am so finely tuned with and so just like in it with, I cannot abandon it. Okay, it is the Pilot G2, I think 0.7 pens. The way that these write, I love it. I'm a sucker for something that writes well, and I like the just smoothness of this pen. Like, who am I talking about smoothness of pen? These are amazing. I really like them too. I really like them for annotating as well. I like to use those as well to take cute notes. Those have been my favorite pens since high school. Let's talk about tabs. I have my acrylic thing of tabs as well. Here's the thing, I don't go with a specific brand of tabs. So I just have all of these tabs. I have these like really flamboyant ones that are just like bright neon. I like to look at a book. So for example, with A Little Life, this book is gray, so I went with some more muted neutral tones to go with it. So I always match the colors to the vibe of the book. I could never have enough tab. Love them. I could never have enough of them. I actually need to buy more, and you may not think that I do, but also I ran out of certain color palettes for books. I don't have a specific brand that I like to use. What I do love though, this one specifically right here, I keep this and I put different color palettes on it, and I just like remove them and put them on here because this little tool, guys, I didn't know this until like 2 months ago. You use this like while you're annotating and you're underlining something so that the lines are straight. And for some reason, I've always had an issue with like keeping just straight lines when I'm annotating. Like, I don't know, my hands are always like really shaky from my constant anxiety. It helps me just keep the line straight, and something about that with my brain works so well. But literally all I do is I just go on Amazon and I go book tabs, and I just look up, and whatever color palette that I'm looking for, I just grab those. Now let's talk about highlighters. Oh my gosh, our favorite thing to talk about here, ladies and gents. First of all, my favorite highlighters ever, because I feel like these are great and they don't bleed through, are the midliners. Now, the reason that I also got some other ones at different price ranges is because midliners are pretty expensive for a highlighter. Like, I think it's like a pack of 15 is like close to 20 bucks. And I don't know, like, I just feel like that's super expensive. But I really, really love them. I have so many different colors. I've been rocking with midliners since high school. Like, I love them. And they don't bleed through that bad. Of course, like, book pages are kind of thin, so you're gonna get some bleed through. But honestly, I feel like these are some of the best highlighters for non-bleed through. They have so many colors, and I've loved these for a really long time. I can't remember the exact price. I'll put them, everything that I'm talking about in today's video will be linked down below for you guys. I don't have an Amazon storefront, but I will link them down below. So these are the Zeyar, it is Z-E-Y-A-R highlighters. Guys, I don't know, I love these. I feel like these have the best non-bleed throughness of highlighters that I've ever used. I have been using these for quite a bit now. I'd probably say around a month or so. I've just been trying to test these out. And like every time I go to annotate, highlight a book, I'm always reaching for these highlighters. They're just so aesthetic to me. I don't know why, they just really call out to me. They have so many different shades of like blues, greens, pinks, browns. Like, I just love them. I like them a lot. So I also have these. I think on Amazon they're described as like Bible highlighters, which you can also use any of these for. They like work fine, and I do think that they are really good as well. I feel like they bleed through a little bit more. These are the, actually I don't know, they just say different little quotes. Oh my god, I didn't realize that. Like, this one says choose joy, this one says thrive, be kind. Oh my god, this is so cute. Create, stay strong, have faith. Like, that is so cute. Are these the most like generic quotes ever? Yeah, that is so cute. They're good nonetheless. I do enjoy them. And also, look, trust, believe, cute, encouraging words. Look, you have positive affirmations around you everywhere. Those are all of the supplies that I use. Hopefully you guys found some new little book annotating things for you guys to go through. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I kind of just wanted to give you guys an insight onto what my annotating looks like, because I have been getting a lot of questions about it recently as I've been posting more of my annotations and stuff like that. People have been asking me questions, so I thought that I would just make it into one little video for you guys to come back to. Maybe you guys get some inspiration to annotate. Guys, listen, it is okay to write in your books. Now, if you're somebody that's like, absolutely not, I don't want to, you don't have to annotate. You don't even have to tab. I used to be so against it, and I had to like get myself into it little by little. Like, first I started with tabbing, and then I started with like underlining, and then now I'm a lot you know, more into it than I used to be, and I just think it's cool. I think it's nice to look at books and just see how well loved they are. I think that's what really gets me, is that when I look at a very annotated book and when you flip through a very annotated book, it just looks so well loved. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff that you guys know how to do down below. Thank you again to Geology for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you guys when I see ya. Peace.